Hello students. Today I'm going to go over the Week 10 project. You are also conducting a chi-square test for this. Well, you're not actually conducting the chi-square test. You're not calculating the statistic, but you're calculating the p-value. So this is similar to what you did in the midweek assignment, but you'll use the file you downloaded for the Week 1 project. So that's the one with all the different tabs. You'll go to the Week 10 project data, and you should follow along with this resource. I mentioned this in the midweek assignment video. So this tells you how to perform the analysis. And you won't need to reorganize the data. So the first part of this goes over converting the numeric data to text data. So you won't need to do this part. But you will need to create the pivot table. So the reason you don't need to convert the data to text data is it's already been done for you in the Week 10 project data sheet. So you will need that pivot table. So you'll go up to Insert, and then Pivot Table, and then from Table Range, and then you'll select everything. So the variable names and all the data. And then you can put it in an existing worksheet, and you can put it wherever you would like, anywhere that there isn't already something else. And so I'm going to put it in D1, and then click OK. So then what you'll need to do is to work with this information on the right side. And so where it says columns, you're going to select recall color, and then you're just going to grab it and drag it to columns. And then type of information, you're going to grab it and drag it to rows. And you can see it's already there because I've been working in this already today. And then for the sum of the values, you're going to grab and drag type of information. And then we can look at this table that we have. And you can close the pivot table. So we didn't do this in the midweek assignment because we knew that for each category we had, for freshmen, we had 5 males, 5 females. For sophomores, we had 5 males, 5 females. We didn't really need to count that. In this case, there are different numbers of people. So that's why we made the pivot table. So you can see the people who were in the consistent condition that recalled the color correctly, that's 27 of our participants. The people in the consistent condition that recalled the wrong color, 9, and so on. So that's what we have. These are the observed values. And now you need to calculate the expected values, and you'll do that in a table that looks similar to this. But as directed in that PDF document I mentioned, you shouldn't copy and paste this table to create the expected values. What you'll need to do is to just create a new table. And I've actually already done that just to save time, but keep in mind you won't have an extra sheet with this in it. I just did this just to save time so I wouldn't have to make it. But you will need to make this. It's pretty simple. And I'm just going to put this underneath the observed values. And so these are my expected values. I'm just making these columns a little bit bigger. Okay, so you'll need to calculate the expected values, and this is the same way we did it for the midweek assignment. So an expected value is the column total times the row total and then divided by n, and n in this case is 72. Now this is not the formula you're going to type in Excel. So what you're going to do is you'll go to that cell. So for this one, we're looking at consistent information and they recall the correct color. So we want to type equal, and then within parentheses, we want the column total, and that's 42, times the row total, and that's 36, and then divided by 72. So that gives us what we would expect in the population. So the observed values are what we actually observed in the sample. The expected values are what we would expect to find in the population. So then inconsistent condition, recalling the color correct, again, we'll do the same thing. So we're going to have to do this for all of these cells. So we have the column total, which is 42, times the row total, which is 36, and then divided by 72, and then hit enter. So you're going to need to do that for all of these. So consistent information, wrong color that they recalled, equals the column total is 30, and then times the row total, it's 36, and then divided by 72. And then for people in the inconsistent condition that recalled the wrong color of the car, equals our column total is 30 times the row total, which is 36, divided by 72. And then you hit enter. And then I don't think we need these for anything, but you can go ahead and complete the grand totals. Like I said, I don't think we need these for anything, but it doesn't matter, and you can just copy these. Okay, so we have the observed values and the expected values. So observed and expected. And then what we're going to do is to calculate our p-value to determine whether this is significant, whether this chi-square test is significant. So you can do that anywhere. I'll just go down here and you can type p equals and then go to the next cell. And then what you're going to do is to come up here and click formulas, and then you can click more functions, statistical, and then select the chi-square test. And then what you're going to do for this, the actual range is the observed values. So you're going to select all the values, not the row totals or the column totals, but just the values. So we're going to select those. And then the expected range, those are the expected values we just calculated. And then click OK. So you can see, and it's always a good idea to check what these errors are. I'm not sure what that would be. Okay, it's just telling me it's an unprotected formula, which means if we copy and move something, it could change. So that's fine. That doesn't mean anything. If you get weird kinds of symbols here instead of an actual number, so if you get like a $sign, I don't want to do it and mess anything up to show you, but if you get anything that's not a number, just some sort of random symbols, or sometimes you do get a ERR, I think sometimes, then you know you did something wrong. But this is our p-value, so it's going to tell us whether our test is significant. And remember, typically, unless it's defined otherwise, significance is defined as a p-value less than 0.05, so 0.05. And that's by convention. We use that in psychology. So you can see the p-value of 0.004 would be less than 0.05. So then we would say our test is significant. So unlike the test that we did in the midweek assignment, that was not significant. This is significant. So you have everything you need now, and you're going to submit a Word document, and what you're going to copy and paste into the Word document is all of this that we did. So you're going to copy your pivot table, and you might need to copy that separately. So you might need to copy this separately. I don't think I can select all this, but you can copy the pivot table separately, paste that into your Word document, and then copy the rest of the work that you did, including your p-value. And I don't care if you include this part. I just did this for the purpose of the lecture so you would know how we define our expected values and then what n is for the study. So you should copy and paste all that into a Word document with the properly formatted title page, and then you want to interpret the results using the correct APA format, and that is something that you should have done for the midweek assignment as well. And that's an example of that is all the way towards the end. And now keep in mind, for some reason, this line spacing is messed up. So you shouldn't hit enter and go to a new line. You just let your word processing program do that. I don't know why this is messed up. But you'll just model your AP write-up after this. Of course, your numbers will be different. And then again, don't forget to copy and paste what you actually did into the Word document. So that's how to complete the assignment. If you have any questions, please send me an email or a message.